he had during a training mission in 2004. A
all
whistleblower
praise,
who
glory,
worked
and
on the Defense
honor to
Department's
Yahweh,
UAP
Bahasham,
task force
Yahushai,
also testified.
Bahasham,
The technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had.
I believe that our government is in possession of UAPs.
Absolutely based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years. I know the exact locations.
Lawmakers on the committee say they'd like to hear from the witnesses again in a classified setting. A U.S. House committee holds a historic hearing on unidentified anomalous phenomena, formerly known as UFOs. Lawmakers heard from 3 witnesses who claim to have come into contact with such objects. A retired Navy commander testified about an encounter he had during a training mission in 2004. A whistleblower who worked on the Defense Department's UAP task force also testified.
The technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had.
I believe that our
they were
government
saying
is
some
in
things
possession
that
of UAPs.
you know they have some truth and then they have some lies
over 40
in it, man.
witnesses over 4
You
years.
gotta be,
I know
you
the
gotta,
exact locations.
You gotta
Lawmakers
be
on the committee say they'd like to hear from the witnesses again in a classified setting.
Like we
The U.S. House committee holds a historic hearing on unidentified anomalous phenomena, formerly known as UFOs. Lawmakers heard from 3 witnesses who claim to have come into contact with such objects.
And what they're trying to do
a retired
is
Navy commander testified about an encounter he had during a training mission in 2004. A whistleblower who worked on the Defense Department's UAP task force
they can't act
also
as if
testified.
these things aren't happening because the Lord
Technology
has been
that
having
we faced
these
was
chariot
far superior
sightings,
than anything that we had.
I believe that our government is in possession of
so they can't hide it no more. But
Absolutely
what they're
based
going
on
to do is try to
interviewing
control it and act
over
like
40
they have
witnesses
control
over
of
4
it.
years. I know the
You
exact
So let me
locations.
play these. I got 2
Lawmakers
videos
on the
and
committee
then,
say they'd like to hear from the witnesses
I'm gonna get
again
couple
in a
scriptures.
classified
Not
setting.
too many, and we'll close.
A U.S. House committee holds a historic hearing on unidentified phenomena, formerly known as UFOs. A U.S. House committee holds a historic hearing on unidentified anomalous phenomena, formerly known as UFOs. Lawmakers heard from 3 witnesses who claim to have come into contact with such objects. A retired Navy commander testified about an encounter he had during a training mission in 2004. A whistleblower who worked on the Defense Department's UAP task force also testified.
The technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had.
I believe that our government is in possession of UAPs.
Absolutely based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years. I know the exact locations.
Lawmakers on the committee say they'd like to hear from the witnesses again in a classified set. A U.S. House committee holds...
One of the things I wanted to point out right there is he said that their technology is far superior than anything that we have, right? Which is true. Anything that these Edomites have, man. You know, man. Any technology that we actually have, the Lord gave it to us. Just like he created the smith that blow up the coal so that they can create that warrior, that missile, the waster. You know, well, the Lord gave them this technology. So, like even the internet, the unicorn, you know, for his purposes. You know. Now, I was trying to find it because this one goes into trying to see. Because I got the scripture that talks about a will within a will, but it also mentioned how the chariot will go backwards and forward. And they don't have technology that's going to do that, you know. Let me see. All right, let me get it real quick. I'm not sure if that's the same one. Hold up. I'm in Ezekiel, the 1st chapter. I'm going to just start it and jump around. This is Ezekiel 4, verse 1. It says, Ezekiel 1 verse 4, it says, "And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, and out of the midst of fire. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. And every one had 4 faces, and every one had 4 wings. let me jump down. What do I want? That's it. All right. This is Ezekiel 1 verse 12. It says, and they went everyone straight forward. Whether the spirit was to go, they went, and they turned not when they went. All right. So wherever the spirit, well, whoever was driving it, wherever the spirit wanted, that's where this vehicle went, man. You know, and they don't have that kind of technology. This is why when they was trying to shoot it down, they wasn't able to. You know? Now, let me get the other one. Let me see. I think it's this one. All right, let's get this real quick.
Intelligent extraterrestrials.
Something I can't...
It says UFO whistleblower David Grush confirms under oath that the U.S. government has non-human bodies, aliens, and UFOs in their possession. Okay, sure.
Intelligent extraterrestrials.
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but who in the government, either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private setting? And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call in to get these questions answered, whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there?
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Super. Thank you. And I yield back.
So this guy is claiming that they actually have the bodies of the ones that was driving that vehicle, like as if they could kill an angel, because that's who was driving it. Slovakia. And if you would keep reading in Ezekiel, the first chapter, it goes in a little bit more about the technology of that vehicle. You know, it says the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. All right? So they have no chance of doing that. And then, you know, I mean, an angel will kill thousands of these people. Like, it's not even close, you know? But what makes them think that they can actually kill an angel? Which this is why they're doing that. They're trying to make you seem like they still got control over the situation. They don't have any control, okay? These leaders don't have any control over what's going on, man. You know? And they've known about these chariots for a long time. All right? We got a couple other scriptures. Yeah, it's called unidentified aerial phenomenons. That's what they call it. All right. Where did I stop at? I'm going to jump back to Ezekiel 1 and I'm going to get a couple more. This says, Ezekiel 1 verse 16 says, the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. And that's what this other one was looking like. You see that? And it says, when they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Whitherso the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. All right. When those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. All right. Let me see. Is this what I want? All right, cool. And so let's get into this devil being a damn liar. All right, this is Psalm 58 verse 3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. This is, and then when you go into, we went into the word estranged, it just goes into that two manner of people. They are the wicked, man. You seen Mr. Grush? He's an Edomite, man. These are all Edomites. You know? But this is, what's that? Let me get Corinthians. Let me see. Yeah, this is, wait a minute. Yeah, Ephesians 6, verse 12. I'm starting 11. It says, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And what is the wiles? Some of the tricks. This is what he's doing now. And the whole world is in darkness, man. But when you know this is a deceit, right? Craft, trickery. When you know or have a foundation in the Lord, they're not able to pull these things over your eyes. All right. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against darkness, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And what they trying to do is witchcraft, man. Pulling the wool over your eyes. You know? But see, this is why we combat it with this truth. This is Isaiah 25. In verse 7, it says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. All right. And this is why this devil is going to go down. You know, lying on the Lord as if they really caught cap. Man, come on, man. What they say, cap. All right. This is John 8, verse 44. It says, ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. But see, people just too trusting. They just want to believe everything that this devil is saying, man. You know? Now, I was just watching another video, which one of the ladies that attended this conference, it's not going to let me do it.
Intelligent.
You know? Nah, they're not gonna let me search. It's all good. But she was saying how they don't trust the government and things like that. She said, oh, I don't trust them either. That's why I'm a part of the committee. You know? I mean, it's just, you don't know who to believe, man, when you listen to them. But this goes back into the serpent in the garden. That same spirit is on Esau, man. The children of Satan. In fact, yeah, this is 2 Thessalonians 2. Where is that? 2 verse 6. It says, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. And this is a part of him being revealed. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And Esau is the mystery of iniquity, man. It says, and then shall that wicked, that's that wicked again, same ones that speak lies from the beginning, be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. But that's why they here. They remember when Satan was loose, he was there to deceive the world. You know, but that's when it was talking about that, it's talking about Esau. All right, he was loose for a time, and the Lord's letting him do that. Because guess what? A lot of people gonna get caught up in his net. Whoever don't want to hearken into this truth. You know, but you're gonna have people really thinking like this dude got power to destroy, like that can even compete, man. You know. Well, this is what the Lord says is going to come for him. This is Zechariah 5 verse 1. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and and looked and behold a flying roll." All right, that's a chariot. It says, "And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it." Now, Esau, he's a thief, like we just read in John 8. You know? We would have said he was a murderer, but it's in there too. So he's a thief, and guess what? We're going to be found in his hands. Let me go back on this side. It says, "And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief." You see that? "And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof." All right, so he's going to come into the house of the thief, chiefly here in Babylon, America, man. You know? But these sightings is happening all over the world. This is why they can't hide it, man. And none of the technologies from any of these countries, man, is messing with this. Because according to the scriptures, man, they got, what is it? They have bounds that they cannot pass. All right. Now, I wanted to show you some of the power of these chariots. And this is 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. Who is that? Okay. This is 2nd Esdras 13 verse 5. It says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea." That man is talking about Yahushua when he makes his return. You're going to have all these other nations that's going to try to battle him. You know? It said they in the midst of war, they're going to stop fighting each other, try to battle the Lord. And that sea was talking about the heavens. All right? When you go into the Hebrew word Shemayim, it says in the waters. All right? So you got the ocean, you got the skies, and then you got actually space. Anyways, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereof the hill was graven, and I could not. So essentially, the chariot was so damn big, he couldn't see the end of it. You know? All right? Or the UAP, according to them. You see how they try to change the name. You know? Verse 7, it says, "But I would have seen the region or place whereof the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight." Of course they're going to be afraid, you know, because they ain't never seen nothing like what's about to come. All right? It says, "And lo," but they still going to fight because a little heart in their hearts. It says, "And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So you're seeing a vision of what the time to come. Yeah, like War of the Worlds or something, man. You know? But they all tried to fight against the Lord, and all he did was blast them, you know, with the laser beam. And they got burnt to powder, all of them, the whole huge multitude. So it's going to be no match. You know, they're going to get crumbled. But that's the pride of them to even think that they got a chance, man. And they want you to think that they got a chance. Talking about they captured something and they studying it, acting like, oh, we're not at liberty to speak about it. You know? This is all about their government. They trying to control your minds, man. But this is why we combat it with this truth. You know, but you can believe that if you want to. That do you think they actually captured an angel? Like, let's get real. You know, it ain't no little green men with big ass heads, man. You know? These is far more superior beings than they are. All right, so, and this is how the Lord's going to come back. He's going to come back with a host of his angels. One of them would to get rid of these Bamas, but, you know, he going to come back with a host of them. This is Psalm 68 and verse 17. It says, the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. All right. Hey, call Halayim Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Chakadash. Hey, we almost out of here, man. You know, just keep fighting, hold on, you know, endure. Till the next lesson, I want to say shalom.